Aw, shit. Here we go again.
Welcome to the Sloppy Book Club podcast. I'm Jenny.
And I'm Celese. Welcome to season 4, episode 5. On this week's episode, we will be chatting with our guest author, Victoria Woods, and talking about her upcoming release, Wildlife. So, Jenny, you ready to just have her get on?
Yes, we are.
Yay!
Hi. I know it's a little early, but we were just like, let's just bring her on.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I have been nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
We're sweating every time.
I have been nervous. This is my first podcast. And I'm like, the only thing that's getting me through it is the two of you. Knowing that I'm going to be talking to you. Because it's just going to be like a normal conversation. So.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No pressure, even though we're both nervous too.
Yes.
No pressure. We're just
does not get easier. We get more and more nervous, if anything.
I'm telling myself, the first time is going to be the hardest. And then after that, it's going to be easy. So.
Yeah, no, not true. No. We get nervous just with ourselves.
Yeah,
like when we're recording together alone and we're friends, like in real life.
Even we change up the two of you.
Yes.
Every time. Yeah.
I'm always scared of like awkward silence or something not going through, or like what if I say a joke and she doesn't find it funny and it's just me and her. So
I always think that I'm not entertaining enough because I really am like a boring person. So
I doubt it. You're an author. I doubt it.
I'm not that entertaining.
No, I think you are. So, do you want to first tell us about yourself before we get into the drinks?
Sure. I'm Victoria Woods. I write books that are very heavy on vibes. Basically, I'm taking you somewhere. It may not even be out of the country, but I'm taking you somewhere where, there's like heavy culture, heavy vibe with the music and the food and the location, that kind of a thing. So if you want to get lost in a vibe, I'm your girl.
I agree.
Agree. Absolutely love that. Well, since you are with us, do you have a drink with you? We usually showcase a drink. So what do you have?
I actually got bubble tea.
Oh, nice.
I
have lychee bubble tea, and I got snacks just in case.
Gummy snacks. That. Okay, I'm always scared. I want to have a snack, but I'm always scared it's going to be like
the noise. Yeah.
I have to sit like way back here.
I was like, if I get really awkward, I'll just bust out a snack.
Go for it.
Mm-hmm.
We are good.
What flavor is the bubble tea? I didn't hear.
It's a lychee bubble tea, and then they have the option to put in like different gels. So I didn't get it with boba. I got it with like rose jelly or something. And it's so good. Like the combination, it's like
it looks good.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen the pink vibes. I got a new hard cider. This is a cherry vanilla from Hudson North. It's a company that I've had on here before, but new flavor. So I'll give it a try, see how it is. Yeah. I'm not even a huge cherry fan, so
I love cherry.
It's good.
That's pretty good. That's not too bad. I thought it was gonna taste like medicine, but it doesn't.
I love cherry. I think it's an underrated flavor, but I think that's because a lot of places mess it up and make it taste like cough syrup. Like
yes, for sure.
That's disgusting.
What do you have, Jen?
In theme with your latest release, I have a tropical Mai Tai. Ooh, and it's also pink now because it's been sitting for 5 minutes. So
look at us.
I know we're all seeing
without even thinking about it.
Cheers. Damn. So my husband made this and he made it a little strong. Well, all right, that's all good.
It's gonna bring the vibes.
Yes. All right. So we figured that we would start with a little this or that game before we get into our chat. This or that, dark or contemporary romance?
dark, but I know I wrote a contemporary one.
Yeah, but you write both. You write both.
Yeah,
It's
I do
fine.
write both.
Yes. I would also choose dark, by the way.
Yeah.
But
I'm
I do like
contemporary.
you do.
Lately, it's been more contemporary, and then thinking about dark romance. One day we had to like talk about it, and I was just like, you know what? I don't have many dark romances that I read. I read more like of the contemporary, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with
Mhm.
contemporary.
There's nothing wrong. Contemporary is,
Mhm. I love
hey,
both. I absolutely
listen,
love both. But when I was thinking and reflecting, I'm like, I don't read that much of it.
uh,
Of the dark.
for me, as long as it has spice, I don't care. I tend to go
Same.
dark, but as long as it has spice.
I
I
agree a thousand
I
percent.
love it. Yes, for
Yeah.
sure.
All right. Enemies to lovers or friends to lovers?
Oh, enemies to lovers.
Yes.
Enemies to lovers.
Definitely. I
Yes.
know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I do like friends to lovers, but enemy always takes the cake. Always.
I like childhood friends to lovers. I love like that deep connection and relationship that they have from like their childhood and then slowly like realizing they've always had their person and didn't know it. Oh, I
That's
love it.
so sweet.
I love, see, I like that, and I like it especially if the like one character messes up so hard, and it's like they'll talk for a couple of years or something like that, and
Hmm.
Like that
like
second
run into
chance
each
Like a
other. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's a good one too.
Yeah. All right. Blonde or brunette MMC?
Oh, brunette. Brunette. I
I knew you were
mean,
gonna say.
I'm South Asian.
Okay.
We don't really have a lot of blonde MMC.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. Yeah. I'd prefer brunette as well,
Brunette too.
for sure.
Okay, my turn. Prince or bad boy love interest?
Uh, Bad boy. Yeah.
I love a good bad boy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was an
Fake,
easy one.
fake dating or brother's best friend?
Fake dating. I like fake dating.
Same. I
I love
love
I
fake dating.
haven't read many.
fake
Really?
dating. Oh,
Yeah. I
that's
could
like
probably
my
think of
love
one.
language. I
Yeah.
love fake dating or like marriage of convenience that like
Uh-huh.
they're not
Yeah.
supposed to be together, but they are. Oh, I love that.
They have a contract, and then they
Yeah.
Dang, a whole ass contract.
Some of them do.
some
Some
of
of them
them
actually
do.
do. Yeah,
Yeah.
they like, oh, we can only do we only touch hands, and if we do kiss, it's only in front of people. Like, yeah,
A lot of work.
it is, but it makes it so angsty and good.
Uh-huh.
Grumpy sunshine or workplace romance?
Grumpy Sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
like
I
the
like that
opposite.
one too.
I read a
Yeah.
Grumpy Sunshine that was in the workplace, so I got a little bit of both and loved it.
Bonus points.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into like your whole writing process.
Oh yeah.
So when did you decide you wanted to become an author, and what has inspired you to keep going in this crazy world we're living in right now?
Mhm.
I feel like I've always gravitated towards writing. I've always been a heavy reader. Like since childhood, I was always my nose was always in a book.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of just goes hand in hand with writing. I mean, even if you're not an author, I feel like a lot of readers or most readers, tend to gravitate towards writing, whether it's just like journal writing or,
Yeah.
just their
Mhm.
own little works that they're not, they don't want to share with anybody.
Mhm.
But
For
I
sure.
really got serious about it during the pandemic. My day job was a pharmacist, so
Okay.
with the pandemic, there was like a period of time where you remember when everybody had to be like 6 feet apart and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So like they couldn't have as many people in the pharmacy. So they
Mhm.
were like, who wants to, cut back on hours? And, I was one of the ones who got who cut back on hours because I had small kids at home. So I was like, whatever, I'll just hang out with the kids. Um,
It's
and then
perfect.
so I felt like I needed something to kind of channel, that kind of like hustle
Mhm.
energy because I
Right.
wasn't getting it at home baking chocolate cake and stuff all the time. So then I just started writing. I had always been into mafia romance, and I had never read a mafia romance with South Asian characters. Nowadays, there's so many to choose from, and I think there were a lot to choose from back then, or there were some to choose from back then, but it was just very hard to find them. So I was just like, why not write one? Like, so that's how I started during the
That's your
pandemic.
like only series that I haven't read yet. I haven't gotten to it.
Oh,
And I bought them all and they're just like sitting there waiting for me, but that's the only ones that I haven't read yet.
It's like, read me,
I
read
know.
me.
And I do like mafia romances. I just don't read them that often,
uh-huh.
but I
It's
will
so
get to
funny. Like they were like that's my first series of books, like the first 4 books I ever wrote. And when I go back to them, I see how much of an amateur I was.
it.
But then at the same time, they hold such a special place in my heart. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just such
They're your
a like,
babies.
yeah, it's a hard mix
Yeah,
of feelings to describe.
I get it.
Yeah.
As an indie author, what has that been like for you when it comes to like marketing, social media, the whole um worlds behind that?
You're wearing like all of the hats. Like
Yeah.
yesterday, I sat down during my youngest son's nap time, and I get like an hour to an hour and a half to work while he's napping. And I'm just like, what do I want to be? Do I want to write something? Do I want to be an author? Do I want to be a marketer? Do I want to be a content creator? Like,
That's
what do
so
I do?
hard.
Mhm.
It's hard, and at the same time, I think I like the chaos. Don't tell
Okay.
anybody I said that, but I like the
It's too late. It's out there.
But yeah, it is hard because
Mhm.
Yeah.
a lot of the times you feel like you're alone. You have indie author friends, but you feel like you don't have the guidance like that you wish, or you feel like you
There's
need
not
it,
like a whole team.
Yeah.
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 Because you
Yeah.
are your team. So I could see that how that can be a little bit challenging. But is
Hmm.
Yeah.
it rewarding when you're like on social media and you get like those readers that kind of like communicate with you how their love for your books and things like that?
I think that's what keeps me going.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's the motivation. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if just one person can connect with my books, my writing, I mean, that's it for me. That's all I really want out of this.
Yeah.
I feel
Mm-hmm.
That's
those are my
awesome.
goals. Just one person.
Yeah, of course. And
I'm that one person.
Yeah.
I'm a new one.
I got two.
Um,
Hey, look
yeah,
at
I have
that.
to, yes. So how do you prepare to write and like, because I know you're about to release a book, and how do you get into that mindset? Do you have drinks and snacks and whatnot? And how has it changed from like your first set of books to now?
The first set of books, I just started writing. It was like this haphazard kind of writing where you're just like, I'm just gonna write, and then okay, now I'm done, and like, let me set it up on KDP. I'm gonna format it myself. It was very haphazard and just me not knowing what to do. Like I
Yeah.
think I should be doing this next.
Mm-hmm.
Now I still get ideas the same way. So they kind of flash in my head like movie scenes. And it'll be, a lot of the time it's like when I'm either driving or if I'm like putting the baby to sleep, like rocking him in the chair, like, just mind just wanders kind of thing.
Yeah,
You
zone
get like
out.
flash. Yeah, you get like a flash of a scene. And that's just it kind of goes from there. So if usually I feel like if I'm still thinking about it in 2 weeks and I've like developed more scenes, then I kind of have a feeling that I want to make it into a book.
Mm-hmm.
Other times I just get, these little thoughts and I'll just write like a short story and I'll just keep it for myself, or I'm like, I'll use this later. I don't know, hang on to it or something like that.
I just
Um,
love how author brains work,
Yeah.
especially when it's just like, you know, you're just like literally just holding your baby, zoning out, and then like this book comes to you. Like that's amazing to me. Like just like the imagination aspect of everything, because I'm just like, you know, I remember being younger and writing fanfic or whatever and like wanting to do it. But then like as I've gotten older, I'm like, okay, I'm more of a reader than a writer.
yeah.
But I love how every author is different, but a few have said that they see things like a movie, and it's
Mhm.
really cool to see and
Yeah.
hear. Now, when you are writing and you hit a roadblock or a writer's block, how do you escape that? Like whether it's like a hobby just to get away from it, or is there like some like different tips you may have of like, okay, it's time to take a break, I'll be back in 5. Like what do you do to get away from that?
Yeah. I actually I have had little bouts of writer's block throughout the years. I had my biggest one in October. It was the October before, let's see, October 2023, because I remember it lasted all the way to ApollyCon last year, and that's where I met Jenny. Did you go to ApollyCon last year?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I met you there. Right?
I
We
think
were
we
we
may
were like
have. It's
separate
so many
at one
like
point. Yeah.
people. So
I remember seeing Jenny there.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, so that writer's block lasted from October through what that was April, let's say May, because then I got COVID after a Polygon. So like I wasn't writing anything, but
Mm-hmm.
like it lasted that long, and I've never had writer's block that lasts that long. It freaked me out. I wanted to quit. A Polygon, like I felt like such an imposter there, because I was struggling with, am I going to keep going? Can I do this? Can I sustain this?
Mm-hmm.
So being there, and like, I, I just felt like I was letting people down without letting them know I'm going to let them down. You know what I mean? Like, cause they're like, oh, nice.
No.
I love your books. I can't wait to read more. And I'm like, yeah.
Oh no.
Like,
Oh,
but I don't want to like talk. I mean, first of all, nobody wants to go to a Polycon and be like, yeah, I think this is it. I'm not going to be doing this anymore. Like,
Right. Right.
and
Mm-hmm.
then you're struggling with it. And I just didn't know how I'd get out of it. And a lot of it had to do with, I was going through postpartum depression after I had my son. And I think that was just like, that was that chunk of time where I felt like I, when you don't really like come out of depression, like you don't snap out of it, but
Right.
the fog kind of lifts. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that was the end of the fog lifting. And I felt like that time was important for me personally to experience, because it was like my brain saying, no, your priority is yourself right now, not writing. Like, stop
yeah.
stressing yourself out.
Right.
But for me, I think just embracing the writer's block, like embracing that moment. Like, there's a reason that your brain is not
Mm-hmm.
able to create at that point.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that you're failing. You just need to embrace it, because when you fight it, I think it becomes, I think if, I think because I was fighting it, it lasted very long.
Mm.
Yeah. It's like
That
enabling it to stay there
Yeah.
while you're fighting it.
I think
Yeah.
embracing it
Yeah.
and then doing other things in the meantime. So reading, just keep reading, like, living life, because when you live your life, you use that for inspiration in your writing. So
Yeah.
just doing other things, enjoying life as much as you can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you have hobbies? Like what do you like to do for fun? Like when you get into those moments
Well, I mean, my days are pretty much consumed with three kids. So
with your babies?
three kids under 10, and it feels like 20 kids under 5. So
Mm-hmm.
I, hanging out with them. I wish I could read a lot more. That's the one thing that's the one thing I miss, I think, from my pre-writing life is reading more, you know?
Yeah.
Reading, what's the word? Selfishly reading, maybe, like
just dedicating time just for you in a book.
Ignoring everything
yeah.
and just reading.
Yeah. But yeah, reading, I mean, cooking. I love cooking and trying new recipes and stuff like that. I haven't, I knit, but I haven't knitted in a long time.
I wish I
I
could
do that.
I know.
Oh,
I don't have the patience.
I love watching people knit. I'm like, oh my God, it's so amazing.
Yeah, I'm such a slore for yarn. So like I have so many skeins of yarn in my closet.
That's funny.
Use them to make something.
Yeah.
So if you weren't a writer, what career do you think you would have?
I think I would. So my day job was a pharmacist, and then I gave that up when I was going through the postpartum depression because I basically was like, I can't give what little I have to strangers.
Right.
Come home and be depleted,
Mm-hmm.
But I do think I would go back to pharmacy, but in a different. I was a retail pharmacist. I would choose a different avenue in pharmacy.
Okay.
I think I would love to do advocacy, like work with some sort of organization, advocating for patients and stuff like that. Yeah.
Love that.
So I think we can start talking about your latest release, Wildlife, which comes out pretty soon. So do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah. Well, Wildlife's a contemporary romance. Contemporary, not dark. Sorry.
Not dark.
At least this one's for you.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's a contemporary romance, and it's set in the South Pacific, an uncharted island in the South Pacific. And it's part of my Steamy series. The Steamy series is basically like, science, technology, engineering, arts, STEAM. I had somebody argue with me that STEAM is not a thing on social media.
It's weird.
Like that.
That's fucking weird. Like
the academic acronym of it. It's definitely a thing.
Actually, it's STEM. And I was like, no, STEAM is a thing because I have a biology of arts degree. It's a thing.
That's weird.
Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah. Anyways,
try to take the art out of everything.
Because and the reason I know this is because when I was writing the first book in the series, A Discovery, Love, and Other Things, that is about archaeology. And archaeology is, some consider it, like a science-based discipline. Others say it's arts. So it's technically STEAM.
Could see that.
So anyways, it's the Steamy series. So so part of the Steamy series, so there is like a backdrop of science. The FMC is a bat biologist, and she works for a university, and she's out on a trip, a work trip, heading to the field, and she's supposed to be studying the bats in Fiji, but then she gets shipwrecked. Well, she has an accident on the boat. She ends up on an uncharted island, and that's where she meets my grumpy Tarzan MMC. So
I love.
And hilarity ensues.
Yes. That's from the beginning, because when I first met our female main character, I was like, excuse?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I sent it to you. Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
Me, Miss Ma'am. Hello. Not a dinner, nothing.
Just
You
went
got
right
it
in.
right in. I was like, okay, I guess so.
Oh my
Yeah, the
God.
opening, I was just like, where do I start this book? Oh yeah, she's gonna be doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So good. So
I
good. And I
I
didn't
was
think I was gonna finish it like within like the week or whatever. I finished it in 3 days. I was like, I just kept going.
Jenny
Mhm.
finished it. Yeah, I think I'm on
Days.
chapter 7 or 8.
Okay.
But yeah, but I am enjoying, like I
It's
said, from
good.
the very beginning, I was like, okay, this is how we're gonna start. Okay.
See, I like contemporary romance.
Yeah, you do.
It's so, so good.
It's so hidden for her. It's like hit or miss.
It
And
is.
like
Yeah.
speaking of it, how did this plot, what inspired it? Like how did it come to be? Because even that first scene, I'm just like, how where did this come from?
Okay.
What
So
inspired
you're not there yet, Celise.
Okay.
But there is one chapter, and I've dubbed it the name "The Honey Scene," and that came to me first.
Okay.
Okay, I think it's chapter 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Okay.
not there.
Okay. It's called. I have called it the honey scene.
Mm-hmm.
It involves some honey.
Oh.
It's messy.
It's messy.
It's messy.
Messy. It's messy. Literally, it's messy. Emotionally, it's.
Yeah, that's true. That is
But
very
anyway,
true.
that kind of played like a movie scene in my head, and then I kind of just held on to that,
Mm-hmm.
and then somehow I don't even know like what came next, but I think it was the bat biologist, component.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I love a Tarzan. I love a grumpy
Mhm.
character, and I love Tarzan. Um, and then I just went from there. Oh, and you know what else inspired me? This is really random. Okay, so I saw a documentary on Jane Goodall.
I'm
It
not
sounds familiar.
She's a scientist who studies chimpanzees.
Oh,
And she's still
okay.
okay.
alive. She's
That
still
kind of sounds
studying.
familiar.
She's like 90 years old. She's still
Mhm.
out there, advocating for chimpanzees. Anyways, it was like a documentary about when she, like, oh gosh, I feel like she was in her 20s or something like that, um, in the field studying chimpanzees. I know this book has nothing to do with chimpanzees, but it documented her, and she fell in love with, I think it was the photographer or the guy who was like recording. And then they ended up getting married.
I love
And it was
that.
just that little, that's not even the point of the documentary, but that little like blip,
Tidbit. Yeah.
I think just
I
kind
love
of
that.
shoved me in that
Mhm.
direction. And it was this like, because then like, they fell in love in the jungle. And then like she would bring like her son
Mhm.
to the jungle. And it was just like, they were so tied. It wasn't an island or anything like that. It was just in the middle of the jungle.
Yeah.
And I think that just kind of like got things
Mhm.
going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
I really enjoyed it. I love like how you made her so like she was so anxious. She made me anxious. But she was like so and like you wrote it so well, like the way she thought about things, how she like never truly healed from like her past trauma
Mhm.
and even like how she finds comfort in things. I
Yes.
absolutely enjoyed all of
Mhm.
that. Like it just felt so good. Like you wrote it perfectly.
Oh, thank you.
Her
That,
That
anxiety.
was
Like I felt it.
and that
thank
was
you.
like one of the notes I had too was just like our female main character and like how she dealt with craving intimacy and closeness and like what she went through and why she feels the way she
Mhm.
did. So I was even in just the beginning of the book, you learn a
Mhm.
lot about her. So
Yeah.
like as a reader, I'm like, okay, how does how is she gonna grow from that? What else is gonna happen? So like I'm eager to find out like how does this one part shape her life and this relationship that essentially may or may not happen, but this is contemporary romance.
I
So we know
mean,
so
I
we
mean,
are gonna get a happily ever after.
happily ever
But
after is
that
guaranteed.
journey, because I know it's gonna be a journey. I know there's gonna be a process, but I
Yeah,
love her internal monologue on why she craves these things and
yeah,
why she feels this way and like some of those things that happen. So like even from the very beginning I'm like wow,
yeah, yeah,
like it's a very strong like reaction that I
yeah.
had to that. I was just like look at what she's doing just for comfort, you know?
Hmm. And
So like it was a very like strong reaction I had even from
yeah,
the very beginning.
yeah. Well, now I feel good about choosing that as the opening
Yeah,
because
for sure.
like I really wanted to showcase, the I'm not spoiling anything by saying that both of these people, Aleki, the MMC, and Maris, the FMC, they're orphans. Like they are orphaned. They don't have
Mhm.
parents. And
Mhm.
it's something I can relate to just in the sense that my dad passed away when I was younger.
Mhm.
Um, and though I'm not, my mother's still alive, but
Mhm.
they're both alone.
Mhm.
And it's interesting to me that both of these people kind of have, it's not the same thing, but they have a similar history, a commonality that is, not having parents and growing up alone.
Mhm.
But they have it manifested in two different ways in them. And I think that was something interesting
Yep.
that I tried to
yeah,
like kind of explore,
Mhm.
yeah.
yeah, because
I
everybody
agree.
deals with it differently.
Hmm. I love seeing that. And I love how, like, obviously, eventually, it happens, but
Mhm.
how they comfort each other in different ways
Yeah.
as
Hmm.
well. I love
Yeah.
that. Oh, so good. All right.
Yeah.
So I also love how he's so like he's grumpy, but he doesn't speak yet. Well, you see how grumpy he is, and you
Mhm.
feel that, and she just like rams right in and just disturbs the peace.
Yeah.
She's just like, "Fuck it, I'm here,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna do what I want."
I always say that like, so a storm brought her in, but she is the storm. Like
Yes.
Mhm. I can see that.
Mhm.
she is
Even
the
the way
storm.
he describes her, he's like this
Yeah.
preachy person.
Yes.
She's a lot like myself. Like I am the storm in my relationship. Like
Yeah.
I can
I can
overlook
relate
a
to
lot of
that.
things. Yeah.
I am not.
Yeah.
I
I
can
am not.
definitely relate to that. My husband says, like, we had a date. I came over and like I just never left kind of thing. And his life has just been like all
That's
these things he
hilarious.
never expected. I brought the fire, okay?
Yeah. You made his life exciting, okay?
Exactly.
There you go.
I
Make sure you tell them that.
Yeah.
will. I do all the time. I'm like, look at us. Who would have thought?
You wouldn't have had this life if it wasn't for me.
Exactly.
Oh, oh
Those
my
You're
gray
God.
hairs,
welcome.
I did that.
I could just see his reaction right now. That's hilarious. Oh, so with writing and like your drafts and everything, when you first got your ideas, how many times did that draft change? Or are you the type of person that just writes and writes and writes?
Okay. I have one last revision to do, and I have held it off until I do this podcast. So I can
Okay.
come into here. So I can sit here with you today and be delusional about my book because the minute that I revise that book, I'm going to hate it. I'm
Oh
going to
no.
want to press
Okay.
delete.
Okay.
I was like, no, tonight I start. Let's talk to them first.
Okay.
So this is my first time reading a book from you. Do you typically write chapter titles because I'm a huge fan of type. No, usually it's just numbered
No,
titles.
this is
I
the
mean,
first.
numbered
Yeah,
chapters. That's what I meant.
yeah.
Chapters.
This is the first time that I put title chapter or
Or
titles
yeah.
on the
Hmm.
chapters. Yeah.
I
And
freaking love it.
a lot of the times it's just me being like, you know, like sometimes I'll name a scene if I'm writing so that way I can go back to the scene when if I need to reference, anything from it. Um, and a lot of those titles are just my little like mental markers. So I'm just like, huh, that works as a name for a chapter. I'm just gonna
No,
leave.
I enjoy
I
reading
liked it
them.
too.
I
Yeah.
really like it. Um, so while writing, who was the easiest character to write and who was the most difficult to
For this
write
book.
for this book?
Um, Aleki was very easy.
Okay.
Aleki was very easy for me. Maris was more. She was difficult because Maris is a lot like myself. So I think it's just a lot of like introspection that I didn't want to do on myself.
Mm.
Just
Okay.
like not wanting to deal with myself.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
I felt like it was easy, even when I was trying to write the blurb, which was like a whole pain. Like I hate writing blurbs. I don't like writing blurbs at all. Like there's too much writing on a blurb. Like it's the first thing that people see. They see the cover, then they see the blurb. And that's just a lot of pressure that I don't need in my life. Like
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could
I
definitely
half
see
the
that.
time I don't even read the blurb. I just go in blind. I see like little keynotes and stuff, and if you give me a quote and I'm just like, I'm in.
Yep.
see, I can do
Half the
that.
time
I
I
can put a
don't.
quote on the back of the book. Next time
Yeah.
I'm putting a quote on the back of the book. I'm not writing a blurb because that is soul crushing. I hate it.
Hmm.
I bet. I feel like a lot of people hate it. A lot of
Yeah.
authors hate writing
They
them.
sound like they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Because
Because
you're
it's
trying to
so,
sum up everything
yeah.
so that to
Without
capture everything
spoiling.
without
Yeah.
spoiling,
Yeah.
but also enough to make people want to read it. So yeah, that's a lot of pressure for
You're
Yeah.
sure.
too close to you're too close to the story. You're too
Mhm.
close to the story to write like 150 to 200 words about this book that you just like cried over.
Yeah.
That's so
Huh.
true. Mm.
Yeah. Now, if you could spend a day with one of your characters from this book, or even if you wanted to
Yeah.
choose from another book, who would it be and what would you guys be doing?
It would be Polka. Polka
Oh,
the pig.
oh, that's cute.
It would be Polka.
Polka.
I think he would be the best sidekick ever. Like we could get
He
into a
would
lot of
be.
trouble together.
Yeah, I love Polka.
Yeah.
Do you have plans for your series or a next book after this one? Or let's just focus on this one since you're still in
As
edit.
she's still trying to.
I still have one more revision. I may
Yeah.
have writer's block again and never write again.
Ah,
No.
no.
You'll never hear from me again after
Oh
today.
my God.
No, I have, okay. To be honest, I have a lot of almost finished projects sitting on my computer right now. But then when that bout of writer's block happened, I just like never opened things again.
Mm.
Mhm.
That's really like, it kind of breaks my heart to admit it, because it's just like things that are sitting there. And then the longer they sit, the scarier they seem, I feel. Like,
Mm.
so you
I
open
can
it and
see
you're like,
that.
oof, I need to like, first I need to know what's going on again. And
Right.
then
Yeah.
what do I even do with this?
Hmm. Hmm.
So I do have projects sitting in there. I have a not in the Steamy series, but this one's a Jenny, you'll like this one. It's even though it's mafia, but it's dark.
That's okay.
It's a dark mafia. And that one is like it's almost done. Like I just need
Oh
to
my God.
tighten up some things and I just need to get my life together and work on it.
Damn. How do you go back and like try to remember everything about it? And
I
I
have
have
to
a
like
headache just thinking about
I
it.
know. I have to like go through and read it again, you know? And then I came up with um like another theme that I want to incorporate in that. So that got me a little excited. So I'm hoping that that's the motivation that kind of that's that push. I hope that
Right.
that push to get me to do
Yeah.
it. And then I have another project that's sitting there that it's a collection of short stories. And it's my most creative project and it's not for everybody. Like
Okay.
not everyone is going to like it, but it's like something that I want to do. So I don't think I'm going to release it in a formal, like on Amazon coming to you in the next few months, you know, like that kind of
Okay.
thing.
Mhm.
I think it will be more of a maybe on my website kind of a thing
Okay.
because I think you need to like me in order to like that project.
Okay.
Like I can see the Goodreads reviews. It's going to be like, what the hell did I just read?
Oh my God. I'm sure that's not true.
I
I've
have
loved
never
everything
read
you've written so
one
far.
person should
Um,
not even call themselves an author.
I've been trying to get this one to read A Love, Discovery, and Other Things.
I
Because
do. I
like
do.
I,
Mhm.
I messaged you.
Yeah.
I read it in I read that book in 4 hours.
Oh
Oh
my
God.
God.
Hours. I
Wow.
started and stopped. Like it just kept going. It was so good.
It is
I
a
love
quick read. That one
it.
is a quick read.
So
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I'll get there. I promise.
Fine.
I
All right.
showed you my shelves. Oh, I'll get
No,
Okay.
and I do have to say something to the two of you. I'm a little mad because every time I see you on social, my TBR it grows. Like
there.
I, I
That's a good
look
problem.
because of you two. And I already have a problem with finding like fitting
Time.
myself down to
Yeah.
read. I have even more books.
You'll never run out. So
Really. If it
there's
wasn't
that.
for Jenny and audiobooks, like that's like my thing now because she's really good with audiobooks and I was just like, okay, let me give this a try. But
I need
like
to get
That's
into
because
audio.
like when I start audiobooks, if I don't like it within like the first half hour, I'm not even gonna try it. But it doesn't mean I won't like the book. It's just the
right.
audiobook has to like
Mhm.
get
Yeah,
me for it
yeah.
to.
I never thought I would even like enjoy it, but lately like that's like so I have young children too. So sometimes my only time to read is driving to work.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
like those 30 minutes, I usually have like an audiobook going. Um,
Hmm.
so it's like 30 minutes going, 30 minutes coming back. So there's like my hour a day kind of thing. And then sometimes I kind of like when my husband gets home, just kind of like sneak away. But I get it. But I get it. I'm like, okay, I'm doing dishes. I might as well put in an audiobook or something. I always have like one ear, with the book, and then one ear making sure no one's causing chaos in the house.
Yeah. I need to get into audiobooks because
Hmm.
I feel like when I'm cleaning and stuff,
Mhm.
that is the perfect time
Yes,
to
Yes.
listen to an
for
audiobook.
sure.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I got through 3 audiobooks this last week because I was redoing my living room. So I got through 3 of them, like
That's
nonstop. I
amazing.
ignored everyone. No one spoke to me. Just leave me alone. I'm putting this on. Leave me alone. That's it. Yeah. So it's a lifesaver for sure. But
Yeah.
I rather a physical book,
Hmm.
but when I need to adult, I have to do an audiobook.
Hmm.
It's just no one can have a conversation with me. They're
I
both
think
on.
I used to, so I haven't really read romance, like listened to romance audiobooks. It's always been like biographies or autobiographies.
Mm.
So I had listened to Kitchen Confidential by Bourdain, and that
Okay.
one was like, so that was after he passed, and when like we were like, yeah, redoing our kitchen, like painting cupboards,
Mm-hmm.
and I put that on, and that was just like a warm hug because I loved his shows, and just it was
My
just like
mom was
hearing his
a
voice
fan of
again,
his
like
too.
oh my gosh. And then the other one was Elvira's book. I know I'm like a huge Elvira fan. But first was really interesting. So, but yeah, I need to find, I need to really tap into the romance, like
Yeah.
audiobooks.
It'll make you blush and if you're in public grocery shopping with the little
Make sure that if it's connected to your car, that
oh yes.
you
Yes.
immediately turn it off because it's happened to me multiple
No, sorry.
times.
Yes. Yes, it has. And it'll
Yep,
be at the steamiest moment.
Oh my gosh.
always.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So what is one book that you, aside from your own books, that you always recommend to other people to read?
My absolute favorite, like it's not even romance, is The Alchemist. I saw you reread it
Okay.
like a while ago, right? Was it you?
I did. I read The Alchemist a
Yeah.
long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't reread it though.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I haven't read it.
Um, that's one of
Good
those,
one.
that's like a life journey kind of one, life journey kind of book to help you understand things. Um, Jane Eyre is my other favorite. Like, I think that one was the one that I like got me into love stories, that was the open the door one. And then it got dirty. And then,
As it does.
I
and
love
then I found Sylvia Day, Crossfire.
it.
I don't think I Sylvia Day. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, that one was my like I went crazy over that series.
Yeah.
What's
That and then that spiraled into the mafia. Like so
okay.
that I think after that, that's when I discovered mafia romance. And then it was just like inhaling. Like
What is your favorite genre to read?
romance.
Romance.
That
Hmm.
was easy. Romance.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'll read a book, and if there's no romance in it, I'm like, what is this?
Is this even a book?
Is this
Oh
a
my
kid's
God.
book? What is this?
That's hilarious. I don't
Oh,
mind no romance, but if it's supposed to be in there, I'm expecting it. It should be in there.
mhm.
Yeah, true.
But
Yeah.
I
I love
don't really
romance.
mind.
My
Yes,
favorite.
I do.
I love
Yes.
it. I love love. I say it all the time.
Yeah.
And when it's spicy, it's even better.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right. Do you have anything coming up this year? Any book signings
Oh,
that you're
I
going to?
I randomly, spontaneously, last minute signed up for Rain City Author event, and that's in Seattle. They're both in Seattle. I'm sorry, like just staying local this year. But
Yeah.
that one is May 24th. And then I'm doing Emerald City Readers and Writers event, and that is I think it's June 14th. It's a Saturday.
I've
And they're
heard
both
of that, the Emerald City
oh
event.
yeah, yeah.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. First time I'm doing either of those, so I'm
Okay.
excited. And I love that it's like local. With the Polycon, that was exciting, but to fly, I think it was like 5 hours, and then like bringing all my books, like I'm very excited about just, the little 20-minute drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
I can only
Yeah.
imagine. We used to drive to a Polycon, so I could
Wait, where do
only
you live?
imagine.
Where do
What?
you live? Where you in?
Massachusetts.
Oh, are
So it
both of
was
you?
what, like took us 6 hours, maybe
Yes.
7 to
6 to 7,
drive there.
depending on like traffic, what time of day we left.
Mm,
But it's
Yeah.
like we had a lot of
that's a lot.
stuff and we knew we were gonna bring books back, so it's just cheaper. We'd have to worry about luggage.
Yeah.
It is more economical and less stress as far as like, what if your luggage gets lost and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And plus,
Also, we're passenger princesses,
yeah,
so
I was just gonna say that. We were
we got to read and
passing.
sleep. That's it.
Oh, did your husband drive?
Yeah,
Her husband did.
my husband.
Yeah. Me and my husband were in the back sleeping and
Uh-huh.
reading.
Yeah.
No,
It was
my husband, like, he drives a lot anyway for work, so he was just like, "Oh, this is nothing." Like, give
Oh,
him
okay.
like a sports channel to listen to or something, and he's good to go.
Okay. See, if it was like that, then I could do the drive. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's not too bad, but
No.
it's a drive. I couldn't do it.
No. Well, I probably could.
I was so like, I was so bad at planning. So this was the first time I was like leaving my kids too. And I'm
Mm,
like, I'm gonna just go just for the actual event, like as short of amount of time as I can, and then come straight back,
mhm.
which was exhausting because like you need to have like, maybe a
Okay.
day
Yeah.
before it's to decompress. And
Yes,
so
for sure.
I arrived and then it was like wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go.
Yeah. That's a
It's a
Yeah.
terrible
lot.
idea. I don't
Mhm.
recommend.
Yeah. The
Take a
event's
day.
exhausting.
That's
Like
exhausting. No.
you're like
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
talking a lot all day, and that's
Yeah.
exhausting in itself.
It's
Yeah.
marketing too, like being on, like, this is my book and seeing everyone and like everyone coming
Uh-huh.
by, and it's just like nonstop.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a lot.
In my case, being an imposter, hi. What do you want? You want to read all my future books? Why not?
Oh my God. Yeah, I get it. I was exhausted after that at Polycon.
I was
I was
exhausted. I was
done. Yeah.
wrecked. I
Mhm.
think I
honestly didn't know how I was going to wake up for my flight.
I think I've gone into work that Monday every time we've went because I teach.
Yeah.
So
Oh, uh-huh. You
so
can't call
it's
out.
usually either before our spring break or after. So I'm always like going back to work. And if I remember correctly, last year, I believe I went into work right after. And that
You are
was
gold. You are
That's
gold.
exhausting.
that,
Mm-mm.
that was very
And I'm
exhausting.
over here taking 2 weeks off so that I have time off before and after, so that I have a break and I
So
can, you know,
that's how you have to do it though, is you like take a break
yeah,
around it because you need a
Yeah, for
vacation
sure.
after the event.
yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah.
need to
Yeah.
recover.
You
Hmm.
do.
Mm. All right, so tell us when Wildlife comes out. When can everyone get it?
Wildlife comes out May 27th. It'll be available on Amazon. And yes, there will be paperbacks. I just have not formatted anything yet and put anything up yet. So
Okay, we'll get it when we get it.
yeah.
Exactly.
Also do have it. I was a part of an anthology that's out right now. It's called Hate Mates. It's for charity for UK bowel cancer research.
Okay.
And it's all enemies to lovers. So it's like 55 stories,
Wow,
all enemies to lovers. And
Oh,
it's
wow.
I didn't know that.
Me
only
Good
neither.
to know.
$3.99 in this
Good to know.
economy.
Yeah,
55 stories for $3.99
That's not
is like
bad.
the coupon of coupons.
it
So
sure is. And it's for
Coupons
charity.
of all coupons.
Hmm.
Yes, I
Look.
love that.
Hmm.
Okay.
yeah.
Anything else you want to tell us? Anything else you
Um,
want to tell the world?
You guys are awesome. I admire both of you so much. And like I said,
Uh,
I love both of your recs. Like anytime you guys recommend something, I am like always adding it to my list. So I love both of you and you're awesome.
Thank you so
Aw,
And
and we
much.
thank
love
you for
you.
letting me be a part of this today. I mean, this was my first
Aw,
podcast and I already knew it was going to be a safe place. So thank you.
Oh,
oh,
thank
I love
you.
that. Thank
Stop.
you.
I'll cry. I'm very
We're
emotional.
honored to
I
have you
cause
on.
I cause chaos, but I also cry, okay?
Aw.
Rain with the storm is the crying.
Exactly.
Oh, well, I love that. Thank you so much for coming
Thank you.
on. So happy
Yeah.
to have you.
Thank you for
All right.
having me.
All right. We'll chat soon. Bye.
Bye.